Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the show. Listen, I need to talk to you guys about something. And you guys know I'm an avid video game player. I have been since the very first Nintendo system came out and back in '88. Yes, IB45s. Listen, I ain't got time about my age. Listen, this has been a topic of discussion for a long time. And I'm here to say that I am tired of this whole situation about Congress talking about, you know, young men are lazy and they just want to play video games. Now, let's just say there are some men out there that are lazy and don't want to get a job and do nothing and play games all day. That's true. However, there's not all of us. Not all of us. And y'all can say the same for me, but here, I have a disability, so I can't work. I mean, I can get on here and talk, but I can't work. So let's go ahead and let me read this article to y'all of what Congress has to say about young men wanting to play video games all day. Young men are playing video games all day instead of getting a job because they can mooch off free hair care, claims congressman. And y'all already see who the congressman up there. I don't need to say more, but let's go ahead and get into this whole thing. To justify Medicare cuts, House Speaker Mike Johnson said that the healthcare program leads to able-bodied young men playing video games instead of working. Mm. Medicaid is a U.S. health insurance program for people with low income. It is funded by the states and the federal government, and like most government programs that help people in some ways, is one of Trump's administration target for cuts. Now, before I read on, I am on Medicaid because I am disabled. That's the only way I can, go to the doctor for my back. And basically, most people know I'm diabetic, so that's another way for me to get my medicine, try to stay alive, right? Where do they get off saying that all that young men basically wants to just play video games all day? Like I said, I am one of the ones that is getting, government funding. I don't have a choice because you know, I'm disabled. There ain't no way around it. I cannot work. So for him to come out and just, put everybody in this category was a bunch of crap. Let me finish reading. No one has talked about cutting one benefit in Medicaid to everyone, excuse me, who's duly old. We've talked about no what we talked about is returning work requirements. So for example, if you do not have able-bodied young men on a program that's designed for single mothers and elderly and disabled, they're draining resources from people house. I don't believe that because there's guardrails in place for people to find out if it's fraud or not. Let's keep reading. So if you clean that up and if you clean that up and shore it up, you save money. You save money, and you return the dignity to young men who need to be out working instead of playing video games all day. This is coming from people who sit up in Congress all day doing nothing but BS and not doing stuff for us. But and y'all worried about video games? Whatever. The picture Johnson paints of Medicaid enrollees stealing from mothers and disabled people so they can sit around and play Call of Duty may be effective emotionally appeal to call hold on. The call to return dignity to American men is a nice touch, but it also but it makes little to no sense in his face, and it really doesn't. So let me just read what Aaron Rupert said. Mike Johnson on Medicaid. What we're talking about is returning work requirements. You return the dignity of work to young men who need to be out working instead of playing video games all day. We have a lot of fraud. We have a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse in the Medicaid. Without look, y'all know how I feel about this whole situation. If there are fraud and if there are people on Medicaid, they shouldn't be on Medicaid. Find them, get them off. Okay, that's all. That's all needs to be said. Find them, get them off. But for you guys to sit here and try to make it seem like that men are, and like I said, there are some, not all. You cannot lump everybody into that situation saying that people just want to play video games. Hell, I'm making a living off of playing my video games a day. So you cannot sit here and tell me that I'm being lazy. Yes, I'm disabled, but I learned to make my money by playing my video games, and I'm putting them up so people can go watch. So you don't know. A lot of people sit around and they making money off of playing video games. So my thing is, before you guys wants to sit here and talk about returning some, taking people off of something, what if they weren't even on it in the begin with? I'm just saying that made no sense to me. What if they're not even on it and you want to take people off of it just for the sake of trying to save money? Yeah, let me get off of this before it gets too political. I'm not trying to make it political, but y'all already know my stance. But anyway, let me go because I got some more videos for you guys, and there's one in particular that I need to talk to y'all about. Thank you guys for watching. I love you all. Y'all be safe. Make sure if y'all want to see my video games, go over to Kennilo's Gaming. That's on YouTube. And also, if you want to get early access, go to my website at KennilosNinjaSun.com. The website gets first dibs on all of my gaming. I love you all. Y'all be safe. And I'll see you guys later.